Going live. Don't know if you all heard that. That was funny. But we are live, and we're just going to wait a couple minutes while everybody sees the notifications for this and all that good stuff. Oh, we are in the middle of a heat wave here in Pennsylvania, and it is absolutely dreadful outside today. Very hard to breathe, and I'm sort of looking forward to the storms that are coming so that this can break. But we're supposed to have a vending event this weekend. So for anybody who's in northeastern Pennsylvania, if the weather is okay enough for you, maybe you want to think about coming to the Pumpkin Horror Festival. Maybe not. I'm not so sure I want to be there, and I already paid for a spot. Well, because there's supposed to be thunderstorms and all kinds of crazy stuff. And yeah, don't know if I want to be there, but I don't have a choice. Don't mind me, I'm looking for the ability to share this. They always move things around. Alright, anyway, can't find that. Xander's come to say hello to everybody, but Xander's probably going to leave because there's pizza out in the kitchen, and I'm going to go have a slice when I'm done here. So how is everybody today? We have certainly had a crazy week energy-wise. I mean, that certainly doesn't mean that you don't go out and succeed and sell and all that beautiful stuff and you don't stop living your life, just because we have had a couple of like really heavy astrological days, like one day on, one day off, one day on, one day off. Today happens to be one of those days. As we're in Sagittarius today now. Yay! Some good fire energy, adventure and all that. But we had Schumann spikes. Like huge, massive Schumann spikes for the past 4 days. And it has been actually pretty darn good for me. It's like the 4th time I saw that white car drive by. Anyway, sorry. It's actually been pretty good. Like, for me, it feels like upgrades. I know I've had some people in my Magic Bringers Rising group saying, like, oh, well, I've had a migraine and da-da-da-da. And I certainly wish you well, and remember to take care of yourself. And especially if you're in this heat, absolutely, definitely stay on top of the water and the electrolytes and, you know, do what you need to do to stay cool. And we're going to touch on some summer topics here today, because, oh, look at that, okay, Facebook, because it's actually relevant to selling, and it's not something you hear a lot of people talk about. But once you really start getting into selling and really, really trying to stay on top of the idea of meeting everybody's, or your ideal client's needs, it kind of becomes obvious, right? A lot of things do when you finally get that clarity of who you're actually wanting to attract, because they are the person whom the work is for, or they're ready to do that work. So you have to start addressing all of your marketing to that person. Because if you're aiming for somebody who's not ready for the work, you're going to need so much more education, so much more just like posting to push and prod, and it's going to feel like you're chasing customers, and it's going to feel like you're dragging that horse to the water trough, and you don't need that. Once you start getting your business, your reading and your healing business where you want it to be, yeah, maybe then you could start building in the gateways and the introductory offers and the freebies and whatnot to start kind of, I always use the word shadowing because I'm from the SCA, but to start onboarding people, let's say, into your world and where they need to be in order to actually, have all the benefits of working with you and doing the level of work that you're trying to do with your clients. And that's why coming from this brand position and not just like I'm just a card slinger, I'm just going to sling cards. That's why there's so much more power and so much more confidence building that happens when you're coming from this deeper place within your brand or because of your brand. Because you're focused on your own value. Not just your value, but you're focused on the value of the work. And you've then kind of become dedicated in a way, because you're always trying to think about it and trying to innovate around it, about how to really reach that point where you are talking to the right people about your work in the right way. And that's when you really know you've kind of nailed, or you're about to nail, your business messaging, your brand messaging. And it's not as hard as we think, especially for us intuitives and empaths and all that. It's just not something we're led to believe is easy because of the way all the general business teachers tend to teach it. And there's nothing wrong with the way they teach it. It's just that they don't understand just how nuanced the spiritual community is. Or it's hard to find somebody who is that nuanced, who understands those nuances. There you go. They're used to people who are just I just want to go out and sell a business product. I just want to go out and sell templates. I just want to go out and sell accounting services, which are very straightforward. But spiritual services, transformational services in general, are not straightforward. Because we really have to figure out what it is our ideal client wants at each of the different stages, and of course their ultimate desire of where they're going for in life. And then so we can work our way backward. At what stage might they be looking for then the confidence building? If they just want to generally feel like this empowered, beautiful woman who is in their abundance and in their love and in their boundaries and, wants to have it all in the sense of the modern woman, post-feminism, whatever. I'm horrible allergies today. Please don't mind me. But anyway, hi, I'm Lindsay Baldassano, now that we're 5 minutes into this. And I'm from Super Secret Powers, just in case that this is the first time you are catching me. And today we are talking about empathic marketing, which is kind of my jam, which is really just teaching sensitives and intuitives, the healers and the readers out there, how to use their gifts to really hone in and leverage what it means to build a brand. Because I think we have a little bit of an advantage. We just it's just that those general business coaches don't necessarily know how to explain it to somebody who can really feel into the deeper needs, wants, desires of the ideal client. And so, the whole transition then between I'm just a card slinger or I'm just going to rent a room once a week and have Reiki sessions and not build a brand, that transition to then building a brand becomes so much easier once we understand we're supposed to be using our empathic abilities. We're supposed to be using our sensitivities in this marketing. and that most of the business marketing instructions out there, not just the teachers, but the instructions, are of course built to be foolproof for people who do not understand the deeper level. This is why we have that advantage, and nobody talks about it this way. But once you realize, like, but I knew this all along, that's all I needed to say to start getting the right people at the right stage in their journey to come into your business and stay in your world, like you'd be like, oh my God, I like, how many years did I spend banging my head against the wall trying to make all these practices work, and that's all I had to say? That is all I had to tell people? Really? I mean, really, it could be that easy of a flip. So what I really wanted to talk about today, because of course most of that was just me bantering in the introduction, is summer selling. Because summer selling is a very different animal than fall, winter, or even early spring, because this is one of the times of the year where we have that big shift in our schedules, in our priorities, in how we are living our lives in our houses, and what we have available to go and do outside of the house. And because we have it, that means even our ideal clients have to and will shift their schedule and shift their priorities over the summer. Spring and fall is kind of the same in the sense that, like if we're aiming for people in their 20s and 40s, they might have kids in school. They might have more free time in the spring and the fall, so they might be able to focus more on like longer term building, longer term programs, courses, things like that. And it's not that you won't get any of those sales over the summer. I mean, you certainly could, and it certainly absolutely depends on how you're relating everything back to your ideal customer. It's just that you have to also then think about what are their needs over the summer. Because maybe you do run your normal program that you run every couple months or once or twice a year, your signature stuff. But maybe you try and add in some low ticket stuff over the summer as a summer exclusive. Just because you can, just because you found this gap in your product suite and in your marketing, and it's like, oh, well, look at that. Here's a good way to capitalize this and maybe use this for lead generation. So summer selling. If you're aiming for people in your 20s and 40s with the kids in the house, you absolutely want lightweight, short products over the summer. You want something low ticket, high impact. You want things that are not reliant on time-based communication, because time is the one thing they may or may not, they probably don't have enough of or as much of during the summer, because they got the kids and the kids are loud. And even if they're not busy doing anything in that particular moment, it doesn't mean that the kids aren't screaming and running around and begging to go to the pool. Whatever. Or begging to just get out of the house. Or, kids. I've been there, I've done that. I'm grandma now. My youngest is now 21, and I relish in the fact that I now get to just sit. And not even necessarily make dinner anymore. It's nice. So, whatever you do, or whatever you want to think about, innovate around for your business, think about it this way. What would your ideal client like to take with them or be happy to consume while they are sitting by the pool, while they are off taking their vacation? Or what do they want to tune into on a hot day during nap time? So this is what I mean by that lightweight thing. Maybe they can't just jump on a call. Or maybe they have to really time out when they're going to be able to jump on a call. Maybe they just want to be able to do some kind of like lightweight accountability thing, or a lightweight support thing, or like if you're in conscious nutrition, maybe it's just a very lightweight program about detoxing. Or if you're a healer, maybe some kind of meditation series for using the sun. I'm losing words. But using all those solar energies, to really kind of revitalize yourself over the summer. If you are some kind of reader, is there a theme or a topic that maybe you can build a small tarot practice or a tarot bundle around? Like, what do people more typically want, or want to experience, or want to feel in the summer than they do over the winter? Especially coming up for Lionsgate, it might be like, how do I get into my confidence? Through tarot, or through oracle card, or through some kind of combination if you are a multi-modality practitioner of Reiki and energy work and the card guidance and spiritual guidance, but something short and lightweight, and that they don't have to like continually show up for. So like a small group program where maybe you're showing up once or twice a week online. They can listen to it, they can ask their questions when they need to, that kind of stuff. If you're aiming for somebody who is like 50 or over, I'm 45. I can see the difference between where I was in that 10-year span. It might be more about health concerns and trying to get things done when they can because of the heat, because of their living situation. Maybe they are living with their grandkids, or maybe they have them quite a bit. So, my action tip for today, and it's a big challenge to all of you out there, my action tip for the day is go post on your wall a post or a question, or a poll or a question, to find out what your audience is doing this summer. To find out what their daily routine is like, and maybe how it shifted from a month ago. Go and find out that data so you know maybe how they would like to consume your topics, your transformation, your magic over their summer schedule. It doesn't have to be any more difficult than that. Just meeting their needs in the moment. And that's the beautiful grace of it. And I want you to really, try and trust yourself in this. Because there are so many business techniques out there, and we're so used to jumping or looking for the newest trend or what's going to work for me and da-da-da-da. But sometimes we really just have to really invest ourselves in making something work for us. Especially if we kind of like the way it does work, if we feel some sense of alignment with a marketing tactic or a communication channel. Like, say you are an email person. You love writing emails. Well, who's to say you can't write a stunning email sequence and sell it? Offer a mini course just in email, or maybe email and short video combo, and just sell that. Sells like a 12-week email program to keep people focused on whatever it is their transition wants to, or their their transformation that they want. Selling isn't something that has to follow any one particular formula, other than businesses do need a certain amount of very specific things. But how you interpret that for your business is completely and totally up to you and your alignment and how the mission seems to want to work itself out. And that's where we can really be creative in our business, as long as we can, go back and explain it to people. Geez, I had another point there that I wanted to say, and it just kind of popped right out of my head. But yeah. So, what has come up for you in this? What kinds of ideas and products have kind of popped into your head that might really be the thing to shift your summer sales into high gear? I want to know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Now, I'm planning on doing these empathic marketing, empathic selling talks every week on Wednesday at 3 o'clock-ish. So, please, but follow me. Go up and to my name and, hit follow or hit notify for when I'm online, so that you can continue to see these. And I'm going to try and keep them as actionable as possible, so that way we are moving forward. And I'm doing this because I am the founder of the Mystic Web Society, which is a membership for making sure that you are building your whole digital presence as a healer, as a reader, as a spiritual entrepreneur, from this beautiful place of strong and aligned branding. And it is simply magic for the people who are in the membership already. And so not only are there a lot of tech tutorials in the Mystic Web Society, there is also a lot, and there will continue to be a lot more of information and inspirational talks around really making sure that you're in this place where you feel like you can be abundant and you can give your best, and you are coming from this place of alignment within yourself and your spirit and what needs to come out of you, without feeling like you're running all over the place, or, oh, now I have to ship this little bit and rebrand yet again for like the 5th time this year, because now it seems like, when really all you're doing is adding to your product suite for a much larger concept that you've really kind of yet to realize. And sometimes we call that multi-passionate, and that might be true to some extent. It's just that there is usually a thread that we can weave all of this under. So whether you're like an empowerment queen and you do that through food, readings, and energy work, that's great. Hi, Jennifer. Yes, I just kind of pulled that like right from you showing up. So whatever it is, that big thing, we can certainly help you find it, and we can help you build that web presence from, your website to your social media pages and your content, and really get it all working in your favor, so that you're really expressing this beautiful value behind your authentic magic and your soul mission, your purpose, whatever, however you want to think of it. Because that's really where you need to be as a healer and a reader, to be able to stop feeling like you're chasing clients, or you're stuck in the limited world of just selling sessions, because you only have so much time in a day. And when life stuff happens, or when you have to start taking care of your parents, or when summer happens and, the kids have to come home from school and whatnot, or they have a lot more free time at least, because you don't have to homeschool quite as like, let's get it all in so we can do testing. So that you can not be so capped and limited when life changes like that. Because you've expanded your sense of how you're able to serve more people in a more effective way that is effective both for you and for them, having that beautiful win-win situation. And that's where you need to be there. You need to be in that spot in your life because it's a beautiful spot. And like you all deserve that kind of ease and that kind of security. So that all of that survival weirdness that comes up and really it does affect your sales and how you start thinking and building a business like in survival mode, like a lot of that can drop away once you do start seeing the consistent sales and the audience growth and the lead growth, and it's just like, all right, we've stabilized. Because like almost at that point then, what comes forward is something even more powerful from you. Because you've kind of gotten out of some of that survival business mentality, tactics, afraid that everything's going to fall apart under your feet again. Because you've looked at, really how you're going to build sustainability into this. Because there isn't a whole lot of sustainability in just running session to session hotlines and all that kind of stuff. Because you burn out. If you're on, like if you're fully on and saying like I'm going to do as many as I can because I need the money because I want peace and security, you're going to burn yourself out. Especially if you don't have some kind of counseling degree, because wow, people on hotlines. All right. So go and post that question. Question or poll on your wall today. How is your audience's schedule now changed now that it's summer? Maybe not that specific question. Of course, aim it at your ideal audience. Just ask them how they're spending their summer. Or how their schedule has changed. That way you get a little bit of data back to see how they might want to consume your magic, your words, your vibe this summer in a way that works better for them during the summertime than it would when they had more free time. So what do they want to tune into while they're by the pool, right? What would they want to take on vacation with them because it's going to keep them grounded back in what they need to do once they get back from vacation? I'm that person. I'm like, I'm going to take business stuff and I'm going to take spiritual transformation books and audio stuff and meditations and my crystals. And yes, I do use them, even on vacation, just so I don't fall off track, right? And just so I have time to kind of marinate in some of that juiciness. All right. I love you all. I will see you live next Wednesday for another empathic marketing and selling for readers and healers talk. And yeah, stay cool, because at least here we're in a very horrible heat wave. And stay tuned and stay in your magic.